Hi, I'm just setting up. As Trey Anthony always says in her shows, just close your eye. Okay. I've been very sick all week, actually. This is my first public appearance. And Lloyd talked to me a while ago about doing this, and I really prayed about it, and as always, I get very nervous, but my words of wisdom came from Monique this morning, and she said, you know, the Spirit of the Lord works and you don't know what will happen, so you just have to work with that. Amen. And it's a very difficult topic, but this piece is called Faded Away. She was 14 years old, on her way home from school, doing the things that young girls do, playing and laughing and acting a fool, talking about the things that they thought were cool. Then her friends went home and she was all alone, texting and talking on her cell phone. She didn't even hear the rocks kick the ground, and when the twig snapped, she didn't hear a sound. And in a matter of seconds, her innocence was gone. How could this young girl carry on? Just 14 years old, now on antidepressants. I tell you, this was harder than any school lesson. The next day in the paper, it was on the front page. But then over time, her story faded away. Faded, faded, faded away. Faded, faded, faded away. There was another lady, let's call her Jane, studying camp to be a doctor one day. Went to a party and she had a ball, and then she headed home through the university halls. She had a good time, I know what you think, but this young lady, no, she didn't drink. She got to the lobby of her dorm, went to get for her keys, 'cause this was the norm then. Someone came through the building doors. Her bodice was ripped and her skirt was torn. In a matter of seconds, her dreams were gone, left bruised and bleeding there on the floor. Only 2 minutes from her front door. This wasn't the first attack on campus, it happened before, and it was there in the paper the very next day. But then over time the story faded away. Faded, faded, faded away. Faded, faded, faded away. He went to school, it was an average day, not the best student, but his grades were okay. Brandon, because of where he did reside, but his mother told him to hold his head up high. Then one day in school things went terribly wrong. He was held up in the bathroom for his cell phone. They pulled out a knife and another gun. He was afraid, but he had nowhere to run. And in a matter of seconds, his life was gone. Shot by a gun over a new cell phone. The next day, the story was on the front page. But then over time, his story faded away. Faded, faded, faded away. Faded, faded, faded away. Women should feel safe, not fair being attacked, assaulted, or raped. I don't know about you, but giving me the blues. Young girls being attacked on their way home from school. York University constantly on the news. A young girl attacked while it was being viewed on her webcam by her boyfriend in another country. This violence needs to stop. To end, and society has to take a stand. We can't wait till it's our sister, daughter, son, or brother and not pay attention because it's some random young girl or young man. There has to be a plan so that policemen dealing with sex crimes can't make rude remarks. So young men stop killing each other at school or in the park. So the drive-bys don't exist in the day and in the dark. So that young girls know that they mean something and their self-esteem is not destroyed by the antics of posting what happened to them at a party on Facebook and made fun of by the young boys. We need to take a stand because violence is becoming commonplace. And me, as a woman, well, I've never felt safe. What I've been seeing on the news has been such a disgrace that it's led me to tears sitting home in my place. And in writing this poem about acts that are so violent, I cried a tear for each life lost at home in silence. And maybe you did that very same thing too. But today these words might change your point of view. Look around this room, this place we feel safe. There could be someone here whose dreams were erased. There could be someone here who's about to lose their life. They could be held up by a gun. They could be threatened with a knife. So let's make a vow to not be silent when we see someone commit an act of violence. Let's not fear for ourselves, but stand up and face the accused. To eradicate violence, we have got to refuse to let the stories that happened lead the front page. We need to make people aware and not let acts of crime fade away. We are doing this weekend. But eradicating violence should not need a special day. It should be something we pay attention to each and every day. In this modern day society, we should be continuing to thrive. But there are kids in their neighborhoods who are fighting for their life. And just walking through their hoods is a daily battle. And no, this ain't Compton or New York City, but crime is happening here. In Canada, our home and native land to people that we hold so dear. But I will tell you this as sure as I know that there is a good Lord above, that we need to really teach one another about brotherly and sisterly love. We need to stop giving that cut-eye and attitude and thinking that we're too good. We need to talk to the young boys and girls who identify with the hood. We need to teach young girls about wearing proper clothes and that sexy is an attitude, it's not dressing like the naked women on the videos. We need to all just come together to do our part. We need to open up our minds and open up our hearts. Because if something doesn't change before today, before tomorrow, another life could just fade away. And so I reach out to you and I say, we need to stop all this madness today. Pick up the paper and flip to the page and picture your face on that page. 'Cause in a matter of seconds, your life can change. So please don't let these people's stories fade away. Fade, fade, fade away. Don't let